Hey everyone, welcome back to Noiseberry Games. So the new Mega Shine pack has just come out for Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket. I opened 30 packs last night, and when I saw the new Mew card, and then when I got both immersive versions of the Mew card, I knew I had to make a deck using it. The attack is just so funny. It's 2 energy, and it's got a chance to use a random attack from any of your opponent's cards that are not on the board. It sounded so funny. I knew it was probably going to be bad, but I had to put together a deck with it. So this is the first full day of the pack being out, and this is my tentative deck list. It's 2 of the Mews, obviously, and an Indeedee. The whole point of this game is just to, the whole point of this deck is just to have fun with the Mews. So it doesn't have the strongest cards. It's literally got no win condition. It's just there to troll, I guess. Since it's only got those 3 Pokemon, there's a 60% chance you're going to start with one of the Mews, so there's only 1 Pokeball just to get the other one if you need it. And then most of the deck is built around keeping the Mews alive, so you got 2 potions, 2 lucky ice pops to heal it, 2 giant capes to give it more HP, 2 starting planes, again to give it more HP, you got Pokemon Center Lady to heal it up for 30 HP, you got Professor's Research because of course, Sabrina and Cyrus, they're just kind of there to switch out your opponent's Pokemon because you kind of need those anyway. Mars is a good one because Mew can only use attacks that are on cards in either your opponent's hand or their deck. So once people figure it out, they try and play their cards onto the board. So the thing with Mars is you put their hand back into their deck. Same with Iono a little bit. And Copycat is just to get some more cards in my own hand. You know, if I'm missing some healing or ways to keep Mew alive. Now, I've definitely had some pretty funny wins with this that you'll see a little bit later, but the majority of games with this deck go a little bit like this. You get Mew in your hand, like I said, 60% chance to start with Mew is not too bad, and then your opponent plays this horrible new deck, which I wasn't familiar with when I played against it, but this was a very funny not win from me. They start with the Igglybuff, the 2 Darkrai's is the perfect start for them. I'm thinking like, okay, I've got Professor's Research, got a little bit of healing, can get the second Mew out, no problem. And then this happens. Mew gets put to sleep, the 2 Darkrai effects trigger, and my poor Mew has exactly 50 health, so it has 0 health. And that was a loss for me. Pretty funny loss though. This one was towards the end of a game. I think we're on about turn 6 or something here. Got my Mew set up. It's got its 2 energy, it's got some healing. Let's see, get Indeedee on the field to heal it even more. Get the second Mew, fantastic. Got some good healing in hand. Let's use the Mew's effect. There are no attacks that can be targeted by this effect. Tremendous. What a deck. I just wanted to show off those 2 losses because they were really funny. This was one of the good wins that I got with the deck. So again, really good chance to start off with Mew in your opening hand. And we've also got Indeedee in hand, which is tremendous. I think this deck works better going second, because obviously as soon as you get those 2 energy, you can theoretically do funny things pretty quickly. So just missing that first energy by going first, there's no advantage in this deck to go in first, unfortunately. But you can see here, Mew's already got an extra 40 health, which is not insignificant. You know, it's practically doubled Mew's health. Obviously, we've increased Dratini's health a little bit, and I think people are probably always a little bit weirded out when they see me play the giant cape, but I just use it on my 50 health Mew instead of my Indeedee. The Indeedee is really just there, just like if ever I'm close to winning and I've lost a Mew, Indeedee can probably sweep things up, which it does actually do in this game here, but it's also there to heal up the Mew for 20 damage a turn. Again, like the Mew does not have much health, so it's not usually going to need the healing because it usually just gets one shot, sadly. This one worked well here. I was expecting to take a bit of damage from the Dratini, but they evolved into the Dragonair, so I was like, great, my Mew's healthy. Loads of healing in hand and on the board, don't need it. Here we go, Mew, what can you do? Miraculous Memory. And we pulled a Dragonite, so for 2 energy, we can do 180 damage from a Giga Impact. And some of the best games I've had with this deck have been against Dragonite decks. I'm just playing this in the casual PvP mode. I do not want to take it into ranked. Ranked's not even out right now. But, you know, casual, the day of a new pack release, people are trying weird things, and a lot of those are Dragonite decks, it looks like. Some of them are trying like the Sleepy Darkrai deck, which is a little annoying because that is very strong. So yeah, Mew can't attack because we used Giga Impact. Looks like this Dragonair is setting up for another Dragonite, and has a ton of energy on them right now, so that's going to be very scary if it can evolve. Since Mew can't attack, we'll just pop an energy onto Indeedee, because we haven't got the second Mew. If I had got the second Mew on the board, I probably would have just been putting energy onto that instead, because it's funny. It is a very funny card. I did originally actually have 2 Mews and 2 Indeedee EXs, but I found like the extra healing isn't really worth it. There's enough healing in this deck already, and it lessened the chance of starting with a Mew, which is what I want to do because, again, it's just a funny deck. So they've evolved into the old Dragonite with Draco Meteor, and luckily that poor Mew took 150 damage to the face, so that actually left Indeedee alive. And I believe, I mean, it's quite a good matchup because Dragonite here has 4 energy on it, and Indeedee does more damage per more energy on your opponent's card. So I think right now Indeedee's looking at about 150 damage. Managed to pull the second Mew, the beautiful shiny blue Mew, which meant that if Indeedee can somehow survive a Draco Meteor, I just wanted to heal it up to just above 100, because then it could take 2 hits from Draco Meteor and survive. Heal up again, the free healing, fantastic. And yeah, the idea here was just to, I don't know, just get as much out on the board as I could, so I could maybe survive a Draco Meteor, because if I do survive the Draco Meteor, I've won. I guess unless they played another Pokemon, but it doesn't seem like they had any other Pokemon. They've just got 2 copies of the Dragonite line. They're just healing up their Dragonite here. Again, I'm going to do 150 damage, so I mean, they were really hoping to get a lot of head flips here. And here comes out the Draco Meteor attack. Very, very lucky. We lost the Mew, but that's exactly what it was there for, which does mean that Indeedee is able to kill the Dragonite and win the game, which the opponent obviously knew, so they conceded. And even though Indeedee got the win, it said Mew was the most important card, so that was nice to see. So, pretty good win there against a Dragonite deck. And this leads us to the final game I have for you, which I've tagged to myself Best Win, so that's fun. The opponent here, in battle, I used my favorite Pokemon. I was like, okay, that's good. It sounds like they're gonna have a fun deck. Start with the Mew, fantastic. Again, that's why there's 2 of those and only 1 Indeedee. And then when they opened with a Dano, I was like, God, really? You're just gonna do a Hydreigon deck in casual PvP, unranked? Please. They didn't actually, which was a bit of a relief, but like I almost conceded as soon as I saw the Dano. I'm glad I didn't, because I think instead of doing anything with the Dano here, they actually play a Ghastly, one of the new Ghastlies on the board. So I was like, oh, they're trying the new Mega Gengar, fantastic. We'll play an Oak to get 2 more cards. We got the Cape for my Mew. Look at that, 70 health, beautiful. I really need it because Mew is weak to Dark types, which this Dano is, sadly. And they equip the energy to Dano and do half my poor Mew's health. Poor thing, but luckily, it doesn't matter. We've got the 2 energy. We're ready to use Miraculous Memory. After we heal it up a little bit, we can recover the 20 health, no problem. Even without the Lucky Ice Pop, we can do a potion. There we go, it's back at full health. People must think I'm crazy for spending all this healing on my Mew. It is very funny. There's the Indeedee for free healing. Starting planes for another 20 health to literally everything on this board, apparently. But now, after all that setup, it's time for Miraculous Memory, and we get the Mega Gengar. So we can do Labyrinth of Shadows for 2 energy, 120 damage, and my opponent will not be able to use trainer cards whatsoever next turn. And obviously that's just randomly lucky. It could have it could have brought the Hydreigon effect or something. But that one was just so funny, just getting the Mega Gengar EX attack out, and then the opponent conceding right away. Very funny. I thought that was just a very funny win. So there you go. That was, like the title says, a really terrible deck, but it is really, really funny. Hopefully you enjoyed it. You can see the deck list right at the start if you want to. Let me know if you can think of any suggestions on how to improve this deck. Like I said, it's really not meant to be competitive. It's just meant to protect the Muse so they can use their attack and hopefully get some pretty funny moments. So let me know what you would add to this deck or what you'd take out. I think it's okay right now. It could definitely be better. Thank you guys very much for watching. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!